Tell us what you think. In person, over the phone, online. Watch and hear yourself on TV. You tell us, we air it. This is The Local Live.
Good evening, I'm Kat Galliano.
And I'm Marcella Milder. Welcome to The Local Live.
As every Thursday night, we're here to keep you informed with what's happening in our local communities.
Let's get started.
Later on, we'll be chatting with Mamaroneck High School's baseball state champs.
And we'll have the highlights from the Village of Larchemont's municipal meeting.
The Village of Mamaroneck's Democratic Committee has a big announcement.
What's food insecurity? More in our community segment.
And what's the best gift for Dad? Stay tuned.
On June 15th, at the Village of Larchmont municipal meeting, the highlight of the evening was the support for banning plastic bags. This ban would join the efforts currently underway in Westchester to ban plastic bags countywide. During the discussion, most of the board members were very excited to hear about this proposition.
Several other communities have done so. The Village of Mamaroneck has done so. The town of Mamaroneck has done so. Scarsdale has, and the town of Bedford has also passed it. And several other communities are slated to pass the resolution in the upcoming weeks.
I probably have enough. Then I'd like to, call the question. I'd like a motion, please. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. Thank you.
Another resolution brought to the board meeting included the first raise in 8 years for the two Larchmont justices, Thea Beaver and Jerry Bernstein. Without the raise, the justices made $22,000 annually. The new raise would give both justices a $9,000 raise, making the salary $31,000. If you would like to see the entire video of the board meeting, head online to lmc-tv.org. It's official. The Democratic Committee of the Village of Mamaroneck has announced its candidates for 2015. The head of the Democratic Party, Elizabeth Sanger, announced that after careful consideration, Dan Natchez will be running as the Democratic candidate for mayor, and Thomas Burt will run for trustee. Natchez previously served on the board for 6 years as trustee and deputy mayor. Burt is currently an attorney and partner at a law firm in New York City and has served as the Democratic district leader, familiarizing himself with various village issues. Informed with the latest trends in our online newspapers, here's our very own Mike Witch with In the Media.
Mamaroneck's Hampshire Country Club has won its lawsuit against the Mamaroneck Coastal Environmental Coalition. The coalition sought to stop the club from hosting non-member events, such as charitable golf outings, and serving as the home course for the Mamaroneck and Ryeneck school districts. Hampshire says it's now free to host events and will continue to be an asset to the Village of Mamaroneck and the Sound Shore region. To find out more, check out the patch. According to lowhud.com, the management of Rye Playland has been turned over to private owners, a 15-year agreement between Westchester County and the Standard Amusement Company. They'll manage and revitalize Playland, and they promise to invest $25 million in private money towards Playland in the next 5 years, securing the park's long-term future. The first ever ecosystem health report on Long Island Sound was released on June 8th. The Sound got a grade of very good water quality in the eastern region, earning the Mamaroneck section of the Sound an A for water quality. To find out the details, check out the Mamaroneck Daily Voice. Start Father's Day off right on Friday, June 19th. Enjoy great food and live music at the Palmer's Crossing in Larchmont. At 9 p.m., the restaurant will feature the sounds of the Big Bad Dogs. Come check it out. You can visit the Westchester Happening magazine for details. Does Dad have a good sense of humor? Does he like theater? Then don't let him miss the last showing of The Dirty Rotten Scoundrels this Saturday, June 20th at the Sandbox Theater in Mamaroneck. For ticket information, call 914-630-0804 and check out Westchester Happening for more details. Well, those are just a few of the stories that caught our attention this week in the media. I'm Mike Witch.
Thanks, Mike. Now it's time for our weekly trivia question. Stay tuned for the answer after our live roundtable discussion.
Tigers up by 7. Mamaroneck High School baseball team won the Class AA honor, striking down Saratoga Springs 9-2 in the final game. This is the third time in 8 years that Coach Mike Schiaparelli's Sluggers have brought home the title, the last time being in 2009. I'm Maura Carlin with Anthony Carlo. On deck tonight are 4 of the 5 team captains.
As always, you can join the conversation by phone, email, or tweet. The contact information is on the screen. This is your chance to congratulate these guys and learn more about their season and future.
Here in studio are Anthony Pecora, Kumar Nambiar, Andrew Summer, and Jason Kreinsis, all captains and graduating seniors. Congratulations, guys. It's been a few years since the last state title.
It's been a few years, but they have brought championship nature back to this school. Before we start, let's relive, though, the excitement of your triumph. Roll it.
Runner on first, 2 outs. Tigers up by 7. Runner goes. This one on the ground towards Pecora. Throw to first. In time. Day 6 years in the making. Mamaroneck back on top in New York State baseball.
You guys have played Mamaroneck High School varsity baseball before, but what do you think made the difference this year?
I mean, I think this year it was really the team chemistry. I mean, all 25 guys this year were really close, and even it started at the morning runnings. We run 3 times a week at 6 in the morning with our coach, and I mean, we had more kids than ever this year, and I mean, the gym workouts, everyone was so committed, and I mean, you knew from the start that it was going to be a special group.
In Florida, we made a group chat on this app called GroupMe, and everyone's taking hits at each other, which really was a bonding experience for the team. So I think that was great for the team.
Okay. Well, was there a moment in your season, and I should mention that your record was overall 24-4, which is pretty impressive, but was there a moment at some point before the end of the season where the team said, "Hey, you know what? We can do this. We can bring home the championship this year"?
Yeah, that week I think we lost 3 out of 4 games one week, Fox Lane, Scarsdale, and New Rochelle, and we really thought we were invincible before that. We hadn't lost in New York State, and then coming into that week we struggled. We ran into a couple road bumps, and the team struggled together. I mean, everyone was really in a slump, and after that week we kind of brought it together, and we turned it back on and finally realized that we had a special group this year and we could actually do something big.
And Kumar, 10-0. An ERA under 1. Please tell me what your secret was. I know it had something to do with science. Now, explain that to us.
Yeah, Andrew and I have worked on a science project in a program called Original Science Research, OSR, and it's an extracurricular science program. And basically what we did was we studied the pitching mechanics of youth baseball players and looked into things that they did incorrectly. And for the both of us, it was really beneficial.
Yeah, we looked at pitching mechanics, which has kind of been this new science, and how to use the body's energy most efficiently with also the least risk of injury to your arm. And it's kind of been interesting. Kumar's a pitcher. He's obviously had lots of success. It's been interesting implementing our findings from that study.
Well, did you implement the findings?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Tell us some of the things you discovered.
Well, we created a survey, the 2 of us, to give to the players and coaches, and it was a picture test, and we put 2 pictures side by side, one of correct mechanics and one of incorrect mechanics, and asked them to determine which was proper. And from that we found, I think it was 3 or 4 specific areas throughout the pitching mechanics phases that were incorrect. And so when—
Who did you survey? I'm sorry.
We surveyed kids from all over Westchester, and also coaches as well. And so it was a large range of kids aged 8 to 18. And so from that, we found specific areas in which they were throwing the ball incorrectly, causing more stress to their body. And from that, we could both help ourselves and improve our mechanics to help reduce our injury.
Or was it a shifting from the arm to the legs or something else?
Something like that. It was all based on angles and how you threw the baseball and stuff like that, using your legs and your body's torque and stuff like that.
Do you have any injuries, either of you, this season?
Knock on wood.
I guess it worked. I guess it worked.
Wow.
Very
There you
clean
go.
season.
Especially in the sectional semifinal, when you come in off 3 days rest and you throw 7 innings?
It was tough. I mean, it was a tough game. No one knew it was going to go 13 innings, but I wasn't coming out of that game.
Champion's attitude.
That's exactly right. Now, you guys were up and coming in 2009 when Mamaroneck last took the title. Did you follow that team's success? I mean, you guys were sort of the end of your Little League careers. Were you following it back then?
Yeah, I think so. Those are the kids we look up to. You know, we always want to be like them. And the past couple of years, we couldn't make it past the quarterfinals, so it's definitely something we want to, some of the people we want to be like.
It's funny, actually. Just this past week, Shappy had us signing baseballs and bats that we're actually going to put on sale to help raise money for the rings that we're going to get. And I was looking in my closet, and I found signed baseballs from the 2009 team that I got.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was a cool moment for me. I know we definitely looked up to all those guys. We said we want to be just like those guys, and to finally get the state championship, that's great.
Kumar, am I right? You're left-handed?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so the 2009, they had a left-handed pitcher
That's
who's
right.
a superstar who's in minor league baseball,
Yeah,
Sean
Hagen,
Hagen, right?
That's right, yeah.
Did you model yourself after? I mean, he's also incredibly tall, so you couldn't follow that.
Yeah.
But did you model yourself after him in any
yeah.
way, or ever talk to him?
Definitely. I haven't talked to him recently, but Chap always mentioned that he wasn't a very hard thrower, but he would always throw strikes, and that was his thing. He would throw strikes and make the batters try to beat him like that, and that's one thing that I really stressed this year was pounding the zone. And Jason, as well as all of our other pitchers, really limited the walks this year, which was great because it just made the other team try to beat us, which was a lot tougher for them.
Now, you were doing this pitching survey. He was a pitcher also. Did you share your information with him or keep it to yourself?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, our coach Matt Porcelli, had put together a great program for all of us, and so we followed that all year. And it was really strong. We all improved greatly.
Have you been following the college and post-college baseball careers of that 2009 team?
Yeah, we have. We know that recently Sean Hagen was promoted to AAA.
Oh, he was?
In the White Sox
I think it was
organization.
for a game or something, but yeah, he got to play AAA game, which was pretty impressive.
And then there were a
Nice to
bunch of
see.
other guys who were playing Division I baseball.
Yeah.
Can you guys say to yourselves now that we're in the same category as these guys, is it tough for you to say that since you looked up to them so much, or is it something that comes easy to you to walk around with sort of that type of that notion?
I think it's pretty realistic. I mean, they did win 2 state championships, and we only have 1, but I think it's pretty realistic to say that.
I don't think it's hit me yet. I can't even believe what has happened. It's unbelievable to call ourselves state champions just like them and to put ourselves in the same categories. It's crazy.
Have you ever compared your team to theirs as a team as opposed to individuals, Andrew?
Sometimes, we try and draw parallels, like you said, with Kumar and Sean Hagen. But I don't know. It's been tough. We've always looked at them as like a goal that we want to reach.
Did Coach Shapp ever compare you guys to them?
Yeah, definitely. He
In what
even
way?
the beginning of the season, he said the similarities of like the way the state playoff worked out. He was like, oh, it's the same way that the 2009 team won it, and just all the stuff like that. It was so similar. It was just bound to happen. That we
Did
got
you
this
guys
far.
also all play together in the summers?
No.
You didn't?
We didn't. No.
Interesting. Okay.
How did it feel as 10-year-olds getting drafted into the majors? Huh?
Yeah, Anthony and Andrew. Did that make a difference?
Yeah, not really.
I didn't think so.
No.
So Coach Shapp talks about your team's tough defense. One of you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, last year we made, I think, like 42, 49
It was a
errors.
lot of errors. We struggled
Like,
last
we
year
made
as
a lot
team.
of errors last year. And I remember him in the beginning of the year telling us how, like, like we had mottos like pick it, stick it, states. Every out he races it out. And from the beginning of the season, Shapp always stressed, like, defense, defense, defense. He's like, defense wins championships. So, I mean, we played a lot better defense this year. I think we only had, like, low 20s in errors.
I think it was one more error than games we had played, which is unbelievable
Which is
to have.
very good.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I think they averaged an error per game, just one error, which is amazing.
Yeah.
That was our biggest thing.
We worked on it all winter. It was a tough winter with all the snow and stuff, so we were in the
Right.
gym a lot. So all we worked on was, ground balls, ripkins, fielding the ball with your hands, and ground balls to
Well,
everyone.
what about mental errors? How did you prevent those?
Shap did a good job of prepping us for the season, telling us errors are going to happen. It's going to happen. Baseball's a game of failure. The best players fail 7 out of 10 times. And so he really stressed that it's a next play type of game where you got to worry about the next thing. Do what you can, obviously. I mean, everyone practices, so everyone wants to make that ground ball, but errors are going to happen, and so you got to be prepared to move on and be ready to the next play. The thing that he always stressed was if someone made an error, he would say, the next ball is coming to you, so you got to be ready for it.
Well, you guys are stirring up some interest because we have a caller. Caller, welcome to the program.
Hi. First of all, I want to congratulate these guys and the whole team and their coaching staff. I'm curious as to if your success on the ball field translated into equal success in the classroom, since your first job is to graduate from high school, right?
Thank you, caller. Who
Yeah,
wants to...
That's a great question. I mean, I think that in season, people are more on top of their homework, and especially with a team like this, spending so much time together, I think that kids did stay on top of their work and did excel in the classroom, and so I think we did a really good job of that. What did Shap say? We got the, what was it, the Scholar Athlete Award as a team?
As a team?
From New York State.
Even
New York
as
State.
seniors?
I
Second
think-
semester seniors?
yeah, and so that involves everyone on the team's grades, and so that was really impressive for us to do.
Yeah, Shap also stresses, like, if you cut class, you can't practice, or, there's on senior cut day, he made sure we were all in school, which is...
And I mean, that was one of the sacrifices we had to do, playing so deep into the postseason, missing a lot of those school events, but it was definitely
You
worth
actually made another sacrifice. There was no prom attendance,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, some weren't as happy as about that, but
it was the same weekend as States, so we had to miss the Friday night.
I don't think people understand, and I don't know if you remember when we had the field hockey team here, being a student athlete, I was one, but I don't think people understand the type of pressure you guys are under. Not only do you have to keep the grades up, but you miss things like prom, things that other kids are enjoying. What is it that keeps you moving forward?
I think that it was easier for us because we're working for a state championship, but some girls were unhappy.
Are they talking to you?
Yeah, they're fine now. 'Cause we have another prom coming up, but I think it's easy for us to just stay working hard.
Yeah, and I mean, Shappy holds a thing called Shappy Prom. Well, not every year, but for the teams that have to miss prom, and so we have that coming up on the Tuesday, and I think every girl's dying to go. Just
Okay.
because it's such an exclusive
And they get to
event.
wear the dress. And,
It's the same type of prom. Yeah.
And they missed out on the studs of the high school. They couldn't take them to prom. You guys had you lost 3 out of 4. You had a mid-season slide, and you guys mentioned how that was sort of a turning point to you guys, where you said up until that point you were invincible, and then after that you came down to earth. Coach Chaparelli did something to the team at that point. You're already shaking your head, Andrew. I know, you know what it is. And if you're on the same page as me, the person that he had made the adjustment with isn't here, and that is Andy Carlin. Now, he moved him from a power spot in the lineup to that leadoff spot, and it seemed to spark the offense. Do you guys agree with that?
Definitely. I mean, yeah, moving Andy the leadoff spot changed everything because he wasn't trying to do too much. He was just trying to get on base, try to be a leader for us, and he did an unbelievable job of that. Andrew moving into the 2 spot right behind him was also a great change for us because he can steal, he can run, he can bunt, he does everything for us. He hits with power, and so him and Andy at the top of the lineup, it was a great move for Shap to do for us, and I don't think we lost after that.
And before we hit an email, I should just say that Andy Carlin, your catcher, is not related to me.
So let's hear. We have Christopher Constant, and he is asking, what is your earliest baseball memory?
That's a good question.
Earliest base, I think definitely those nights where you're over on Getz Field on Boston Post Road, and it's a little chilly because the wind's blowing in, but everyone coming out to the games, all the parents supporting, even if it's early spring and it's cold out. That's definitely one of my favorite memories. Just playing those games, being able to go out, after you have school on a Tuesday night, Thursday night, and going and playing baseball. That's definitely a memory
the same
I'll remember.
thing. I'd say Getz too.
Little League. That's where it all started.
Did you all play Larchmont and Mamaroneck Little League?
Yes.
You all did.
I think playing at Flint Park, Green League, trying to hit it into the street.
But it didn't all start with kickball?
Kickball. I don't remember kickball. That's too long ago.
And a lot of these guys here play more than just baseball, or played more than just baseball at that time. That's something that boggles me, where student athletes are playing more than one sport. I still don't have the answer to that.
What did What else did you guys play?
Last year I played hockey. This year,
but not this year.
Not this year. Just focused on.
What about you,
Yeah,
Andrew?
I played football in the fall.
Football and baseball at the
Yeah, football and baseball.
Wow.
Okay. What about you?
I played basketball sophomore and junior year and then didn't play this year.
And you, Anthony?
I played hockey this year and last year.
That's a lot. And there's a lot of overlap in some of those seasons because
Yeah.
seasons never end in
Yeah.
sports like hockey in particular. Well, go ahead. Did you have a question, Anthony?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
We can keep talking here. These guys are interesting. You know, so people. I think there's a little bit of a deceitful matter with when people talk about your previous years and how you weren't winning championships like the 08, 09 teams, but they don't realize that you guys were still winning teams. How much pressure did you feel that you felt as if you were doing well, but because you weren't bringing home that championship, did you feel like you were under the gun at that point, that you had to win one?
I think the 08, 09 teams definitely set a precedent and established Mamaroneck as a winning program and as a program that should be always at the top. And I think we've definitely felt that pressure. But this year, I think we were more adept and more able to handle it. I think we had the team to do it this year.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think we would have been able to do it without losing those big games in the past couple of years. Losing those games were really beneficial to us, and we were able to grow from that and not make the same mistakes again.
Now, whether you hate them or you love them, you know who the Yankees are. And even though they're not the same Yankee team as they used to be, at one point it was championship or bust. It seems like Mamaroneck High School baseball is the same way.
I don't think so. I think we have a good group of guys coming back next year. I mean, it's unfortunate we're not going to be able to put that uniform on again, but we've got a solid core coming back next year, and I definitely think they're going to be able to compete like we did.
Before I get to the next question, I just should mention that the photos you've all been watching or seeing while we talk are courtesy of Stefan Aloisa. So thank you, Stefan. We appreciate that. What are you guys doing next year since you're about to graduate?
I'm going to play baseball at Wagner College.
Great.
I'm going to be playing baseball at Yale University next year.
Playing football at Amherst College.
Oh, football.
Yeah. Well, after this great season, I actually might try and play baseball too, but definitely football.
Well, this year, football sort of hit a milestone of itself.
Yeah, we won our first playoff game this year.
Right.
And that was huge for the program, so hopefully we'll build on that success and do just as well, if not better, next year.
And what are your plans, Jason?
I'm going to Wake Forest University.
Oh, great.
Maybe walk onto the team, probably play club baseball.
Well, they'll surely take notice of your medal, of your hardware, right?
So how many of you guys have professional careers on the horizon? How many of you are thinking of that?
I think everyone thinks of it if you're a baseball player. Everyone kind of watches those guys on TV and thinks, all right, one day I want to be like this. But it's tough. It's a hard reality to try to run into. And I mean, I think it's all in the back of our minds. We're all planning for school first, and we're going to try to ride baseball as long as we can. But I mean, school first and then baseball. And if we can get there, then I think any of us would take that opportunity in a heartbeat.
So we have another question.
Go ahead.
We have another question for you guys. This is from Andrew Gross, and he wants to know, he's a friend of yours, huh?
Yeah, he's a teammate.
Now, if I didn't assume that he was a teammate, I might not have said his name, because the question's slightly insulting, maybe. How do Jason and Kumar, who are so skinny, get so much power behind their pitches? They're skinny as a needle, especially Jason.
It's funny. I mean, I think it comes back to a lot of the using your body in the right way and the pitching mechanics. Like our coach Matt Porricelli and me and Andrew's OSR project has a lot to do with it. All your power comes from the lower half, and I mean we might not look like these two next to us, but yeah, it's all in the legs, and so a lot of running and a lot of stuff like that was really beneficial to our season this year.
And those medals are pretty thick, so I don't
Necks are hurting. Go ahead, Jason.
It's all the hard work in the off season we put in. Me and Kumar every day we try and get out to the field or the gym, work out, and helped out.
Let me ask you, I'm going to ask each of you, what do you each think was the play of the season?
Definitely,
Anthony?
definitely Andy's walk-off against Arlington to put us in the section championship.
Okay.
I'd have to say the first game out of the section in state play, we were up at Saugerties. To lead off the game, Andy hit a ball to the wall, and from there on, we were riding pretty well. He set the tone for us, and we felt pretty good after that, and so that was really good for us.
Andrew?
I kind of liked Anthony's bunt in the state championship. The suicide squeeze that scored 2 runs, because that's kind of the play Shappy's always been talking about.
First time
that's
it worked
his favorite kind of play, and it's the first time it worked.
Suicide squeeze?
Yeah, where the runner on third runs home, Pecora lays down the bunt, he scored, and then the runner from second was running around And when the throw went to first, it was Andrew Gross. Andrew Gross came in and scored. So we got 2 runs off of a squeeze, which was huge. And Shappy's going to be talking about that forever. Right?
Yeah. Go ahead, Jason, your turn.
I'm going to say Kumar's diving catch in the section finals, and then we ended up turning a double play. It was just a big turning point. We were already up 1-0, and it was big for us to go out there and put up another 0.
You spoke about the suicide squeeze. You guys had to play a lot of that type of ball because maybe the offense wasn't as strong as those 08-09 teams. Would you agree with that?
I don't think we were as strong as the 08-09 teams, but we were definitely a really, really good hitting team. And I mean, Shap throwing BP to us every day really helped us. But you know Shappy, he's going to do whatever he can to put those runs across. And so while we did hit with power, we did also squeeze some runs home and play a little small ball.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to hear your plays because we are now going to actually go to the final LMC-TV Varsity Sports Play of the Week of the 2014-15 school year.
Our champ here, Anthony Pecora, executed a suicide squeeze to perfection, putting the final touches on a state championship season. Let's check it out.
Anthony Pecora at the plate, runners on second and third, 1 out. Tigers already lead by 5. It's a squeeze play. Coming home is Matt. 1 run scores. Another runner coming to the plate. Safe. It's a 2-run suicide squeeze. 5 RBIs today by Pecora. And it is 9-2 Mamaroneck.
And we are now out of time. Thank you, Anthony, Kumar, Andrew, and Jason for joining us. We should say that again that the 5th captain, Andy Carlin, again no relation to me, couldn't be here. Oh, we're being told we actually have a phone call before I wrap it up. We'll let it go through.
The show must go on. Caller, welcome to the program.
You there, caller?
Hello.
Yes, caller, go ahead. You have a question?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Kumar, so I hear you've been receiving a lot of comparisons to Sean Hagan from the 2009 team. How does that make you feel?
I mean, it's a great feeling. It's something you mentioned earlier. Shap always said he put the similarities together between the state teams earlier and us, and I mean, it's an honor to be something like that, and he's playing professional baseball now. And yeah, I mean, it's great. He said it before the season, and it's something that I've thought about all year and just strive to be like him, work hard, and play like him. And it's unbelievable, yeah.
Well, thank you, caller. In any event, we're out of time, so thank you, guys. Next week, we'll be discussing summer fun for the kids away from the screens.
We'll be back with the trivia answer and more community stories.
You're familiar with homelessness, but have you heard of food insecurity? It's a term being used to describe those who can't afford or otherwise access sufficient nutrition to live a healthy lifestyle. Brenda Blanco explains.
Alexandra Andujar, a homeless 23-year-old single mother, will head to work soon after finishing what could be her last and only meal of the day at this soup kitchen in New Rochelle. Unemployment decreased in Westchester from 8% in 2010 to 5.2% today. New York's overall economy grew 0.2% in its first quarter this year. Yet people like Andujar who work,
I'm off books, I work in stores,
still having a hard time affording food. Andujar is just one of an estimated 200,000 people here in Westchester who go hungry every day. They're called food insecure.
It basically means that at one point or another the family or the individual worries about having adequate and nutritious food. And I think the key there is nutritious or quality food.
Those 200,000 are the largest number of food insecure people since 2008 in the area. Aisha Khan works with the Food Bank for Westchester. Their job is to fight off hunger.
So last year we distributed 7.2 million pounds of food. In the next fiscal year we've committed to increasing that number by over an additional 1 million pounds going out in Westchester County. But for us the solution really isn't just about getting additional pounds out, it's using more metrics to identify who do we get those additional pounds out to.
But their competition when it comes to helping people in need is one that keeps growing. Living expenses. The rising prices of rent, electricity, and gas continue to multiply food insecurity, reaching a 50% increase in just 7 years.
Westchester County is very, very expensive. The cost of living is very expensive, and it's not something that is always manageable. It's really having to make the decision of, do you pay your utilities bill, or do you buy groceries? Do you pay for health insurance, or are you paying for healthy, nutritious food?
Amelia Luongo is a construction worker who chose to keep a home.
I'm lucky. I'm very lucky. I get to go home and take a shower.
At the food bank, the mission is not over until Luongo and many others get to live life without thinking how or where to find the next meal.
And it really is our motto around here that one day we want to work ourselves out of jobs, and that's what we're striving for.
And the bank is not the only one hoping for a brighter future.
It'll get better in the morning.
For the Local Live, I'm Brenda Blanco.
With Father's Day on Sunday, residents shared with us their gift ideas, and some even dedicated a message to their dads.
With Father's Day just around the corner, we went to hear what residents have planned for that special day.
I think I would get my dad something to do with firefighting, so maybe like a little toy fire engine or something, because he likes to do volunteer firefighter stuff.
For this guy to be a good guy, to be a good man, good kid, and give good grades.
Something that can connect to us that will be really special because he's my dad and I love him. So something nice like that.
Well, my dad's a funny kind of guy, so he likes all the pranks and stuff. So I'd probably give him a whoopee cushion or something because he enjoys that kind of stuff. He's kind of crazy, but I love him.
I think I would get him something to do with golf because he does that every weekend. So golf balls.
I'm going to celebrate Mother's Day and Father's Day on the same day, and I'm also going to hopefully bring my father and my mom out to a nice restaurant.
He's just a rock star for me. He inspires me to keep waking up every day with a smile and helping everybody else as he does.
I see so much of you in me, and every day all the lessons that you've taught me growing up have been shaped my life and who I am. So very, very happy Father's Day to you, Dad. I love you, and I wish you nothing but the best.
On behalf of the whole Local Lives production team, we'd like to thank all our fathers and wish them a very special Father's Day.
Looking for your child to have a great summer? Sign them up for lmc-tv's Team Filmmaking Workshop. Young people 12 and up have an opportunity to film, star, and direct in their own movies. Check out last year's participants. Don't let your teen miss out on a fun, productive summer. Sign them up today. LMC TV, your community connection.
Meet Indy, our pet of the week. She is a black lab mix and is waiting to be adopted. For more information on how to adopt this cutie, please contact Pet Rescue at www.ny-petrescue.org. It's been a pleasure, as always, to keep you updated with our community news.
That's right, Marcella. We want everyone to know that volunteer and internship opportunities are available for this and other programs. So send an email to thelocallive@lmc-tv.org if you want to be part of our team.
And don't forget to check out our website for more news and community programming, www.lmc-tv.org.
That's a wrap for us today. I'm Kat Galliano.
And I'm Marcella Milder. See you next week.
Tell us what you think. In person, over the phone, online. Watch and hear yourself on TV. You tell us, we air it. This is The Local Live.